Here to discuss stories making news in business is Journal Record editor Ted Streuli. Ted, Chesapeake CEO Doug Lawler is continuing his efforts to transform the energy company. Tell us more about that.
Well, he has. When he took over the company a year or so ago, he promised to really make substantial changes. They had their annual shareholders meeting just about a week ago, in which we saw that they've really reduced spending, they've reduced debt, and they've become more responsive to shareholder concerns. At the meeting, they passed all 8 proposals that came up this year. Several of those had been rejected in prior years.
American Airlines has finally reached a tentative agreement with one of the major labor unions.
Yeah, reached a tentative agreement with the Machinists Union. They represent about 11,000 employees at American. If that's ratified, then that will open the door for joint collective bargaining with the Transportation Workers Union. All told, that'll be about 30,000 employees that they can bargain with all at once.
A virus is affecting Oklahoma's pork producers, and it's a serious problem.
Yeah, it's a very serious problem. This virus has been sweeping around the country for a little over a year now. It's killed some 7 million piglets, and here in Oklahoma, it's wiped out about 8% of the swine population. That's already led to significantly higher pork prices.
Many of Oklahoma's major water reservoirs are reaching the end of their useful life. What are the prospects for replacing them?
Well, they're not very good. There's some 1,400 square miles of surface, water surface in the state. Much of that is in aging reservoirs that were done by the federal government. There's no plan to replace them. It's gotten much more expensive. There's no money to replace them, but some of the infrastructure is starting to fail, and they're starting to have problems with sediment in some of the lakes. So they're either going to have to find a way to do some serious maintenance or find some money to build some new ones.
Competition in Tulsa's retail market is heating up.
It is. For many years, 71st Street has been the retail corridor in Tulsa. Anybody who's fought the traffic at 71st and Yale knows that. But we're now seeing several other parts of the city with competing retail corridors popping up. It's not going to be an overnight change, though.
After several years without a restaurant, the top floor of the United Founders Tower in Oklahoma City now has a new tenant.
That's right. This is going to be George Prime Steakhouse. For many years, that was Nick's at the top, and it was a rotating restaurant. It's no longer rotating, but a new high-end steakhouse, the same man that's behind the Interurban chain of restaurants, has been working on that for nearly a year and a half. It's finally opening its doors.
Ted, what are you working on for next week?
In Monday's paper, we're going to have a very thorough look at the Department of Environmental Quality's budget cuts that they endured this year, how they're going to cope with those, and what was behind those serious reductions.
Ted Streuli, editor of the Journal Record, thank you.
Thanks for having me.